Come with us on flower hunters into the jungle mountains with an orchid expert and a Buddhist monk to collect the orchids that humanity most needs today.
Wishes come true.
On day 1, we collected 6 wild orchids and grappled with the wild sky of euphoria and impermanence. We laughed until our stomachs ached, and 2 strangers quickly transformed into our brothers in the purest display of near-silent companionship. As we wondered how we'd go back to normal life after experiencing a joy this expansive, we embark on a 9-hour vertical ascent to Panchase Peak with our new flower hunter partners, orchid expert Mahendra Thapa and Buddhist monk Nyima Lama. Come with us as our legs turn to jelly and our awareness level sharpens into a state of non-thought. In the mountains, it is not the mouth, but the heart that speaks. This is Nepal. I'm Katie Hess with my sidekick Taylor Rico, and this is our docuseries, Flower Hunters. Day 2, we woke up to these mountains again and this beautiful sunrise. Had an amazing night's sleep. We just crashed. Sometimes it's lucky when the Wi-Fi doesn't reach the room. You know, you can't do like any work, you gotta just crash. We woke up at 5:30 so we could enjoy the sunrise. Today we're gonna walk to Panchase Peak. There were actually 3 foreigners who got lost out there last night, and the owners of this beautiful guest house had to go and rescue them. There are a lot of wild animals out there. I love these guest houses out here because they're way out in the jungle, in the mountains, and the owners make you food. The night before, they ask you, what are you going to want for breakfast? And it's just like, it's almost kind of like being in someone's home, but a little more privacy. We had a blast with the guys yesterday. We're starting to wonder how we're going to do this in the future without them because they're just so awesome. It's like pinch me, you know? It's like a dream. Like the whole day just feels like kind of euphoric and blissful. It's being out here, being in nature, seeing orchids wild like that, and traveling with such phenomenal partners and meeting such incredible people. Today we're looking for our favorite flower. It's a pink one. It's something like Peony Peacocks or something, if I'm saying it right. That'll be like the grand finale. And there's a few more on our list that we might be looking for. Let's see if they're in bloom. But apparently every couple months, there's like a new wave of orchids in bloom. There's so many different types. It was like 1/3 of all of Nepal's orchids grow in this particular area. So, I mean, it's just the perfect place to be. Yeah, probably lots of laughs. Probably lots of belly pain and face pain from laughing so much. Early on when we were driving here and we had our 8-hour-long drive, and the guys don't know each other, and you know, it's a little awkward in the beginning, and I just kind of like threw out there that after these days we're all going to be so close, it's going to feel like family. And it's definitely been unraveling that way. We just like, we'll have these moments where we're just like all in stitches and enjoying each other's presence so much. The language barrier makes it even more fun because I think if you've traveled outside your home where people don't speak your language and as much, and you don't speak their language, it's like the intensity of the connection. The connection has to intensify in order to like make up for gaps in what there are with words. You know, Taylor put on Instagram like, this is Mahendra's role and this is Nima's role, and we came up with little titles, right? Like what they're actually good at. But like nobody designated them, you know, nobody told them this is what you're gonna do. Of course Mahendra knows he's the orchid expert and Nima's the monk. Nyima will take charge in moments, you know, with what his gift is, with prayer, with mantra, and with making sure that we're all super conscious of what we're doing on a spiritual level. So I just feel so lucky. I don't be in a place like this and have such great camaraderie and friendship and support, find such incredible flowers. And we're just like wondering, how are we going to top this? I don't know, do we just wrap up the show right now and say that was the best? Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thanks for coming along the ride with us. I think we have to come back and do this again.
What?
You have to come with us.
Yeah.
Okay, like Everest or what?
No. Would you come?
Of course. If I alive,
Right.
if I alive, then yes, of course. Who knows, It's impermanent.
We'll move to that peak, the Panchase Peak, which is about 2500 meter, and after that we back to the Badore. And today we will see the pink one, Pleione Praecox, my favorite one. I wish we will find that.
Here we go.
Lama don't Buddhist in Cymbidium. Child hello, Oma Arabazana It's good for memorizing, and also the text, that pronunciations, all it's going very well.
Clarifies your channels?
Yeah. And also it's tongue exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So it's good to be, if you can, every morning.
Also kind of wild that we haven't really seen any people out here. Like with the exception of going to the guest house on the trail yesterday, I think we saw 2 Nepali people, 2 or 3. We're really out in the wild.
This is new.
You never see this one before?
No. And the first flower for today's trip. You can see it looks so beautiful.
The Eria Coronaria orchid helps us reintegrate with everyday life after deeply transformative or intense experiences. When we've been removed or isolated from our normal world, we may feel reluctant to return because we sense that no one will understand what we've been through. This orchid gives us the strength to extend ourselves back into civilization with more compassion and clarity. It awakens a greater mission within us so we can re-enter the world with strength, vitality, and focus.
Pink, finally. Wow.
Oh my god.
I feel relaxed.
Our wishes come true.
Yeah.
Very soon, yeah. This is nice.
Within 1 hour.
Yeah. Yeah. And good sensor. Also, like where can
Yeah.
also, the eyes is good. my double eyes is not working.
The Pleione Praecox orchid shatters the walls around our hearts. Whether we're closed off due to long-term stress or life not going as planned, this orchid eats those patterns for breakfast and peels our hearts open so we can see the world in color again. When we fall into the grass is always greener thinking, It opens us up to new worlds within and around us. We can see, appreciate, and absorb the beauty that already exists in our lives. It enhances wild creativity and attention to details, slowing us down to see new perspectives, allowing a luxurious experience of expression. We're awakened to a reality that is vibratingly electric and rich with sensory beauty. We feel as if we're living in a fairyland or the mandala of a magical world, not only the 3D world in front of us, but within our visions for the future. We can frame the most beautiful, miraculous outcomes as easy as looking up and seeing millions of flowers falling from the sky.
When did you fall in love with that flower? When did that one become your favorite?
Oh, first look. I fell in love within the first look. That color, and no anything but the beautiful flower in the dry area makes me fall. Every old tree has this flower.
Every old tree?
Yeah, you can see that.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Interesting, they like the old wood, not the new wood.
Yeah.
Because some of the orchids like new wood, huh? Like
Some likes, but this Pleione Praecox need the old tree.
old.
Needs more moss for the humidity. Yeah.
Mahendra has excellent eyes that we found within the first hour. We found pretty much the grand finale of the whole show. This is the one that was like everybody's favorite, and the color and the fringe is so spectacular, and it grows at higher elevation. So we just hustled up this hill for like an hour and boom, it's right there. Nyima was sitting here getting some sun, and Mahendra spotted it. So amazing. He said that it has leaves, but then it drops its leaves in order to put all of its energy into the flower, which is kind of unique. Very sexy, very beautiful, has elements that look both male and female. When we first came up to the tree, the insects were so loud, like deafening. Everything else was quiet and silent, but the insects were just like vibrating everything. So typically we would sit with this tree for an hour and like take notes, and since we're so on the go and we're moving through a lot of different elevations and places, the information gathering is happening more on the go and more like a homeopathic proving, like watching what arises in our experiences. The first one we collected, I felt really strongly, like right away, that it's a really good flower for when you've come out of some really kind of deep or intense experience. So maybe you're in the military, maybe you're in a retreat, or like a 3-year retreat. I was thinking this would be a really good one for Karma Lama when he comes back out into the world after not having seen or talked to any people for 3 years. Or maybe you've gone through a really transformative experience and you're coming back out into the world, and the kind of observation and quiet and bridging into a more crazy busy world. Each time we go and find a flower, it's like entering this container of a world. You know, we do all of our work and there's so many experiences, different experiences happening. And then we walk out and we start again. I think I'm focused so much on taking the photos that it's the after that will hit me the most. But I love what you said about it's a container. It is you're being allowed to enter into, the Buddhists would call a mandala. And mandala, we think of oh, something beautiful and it's round and it's flat and it's on the table, something like that. But it's actually a representation of a 3-dimensional structure, or they would talk about visualizing a palace, you know? So I love to think of that too as you're entering the world and the palace of this particular botanical. And, what are the rooms? And, that's a direct reflection of what's inside of our own mind. And you can definitely feel it, like you said. It's whew. I think the harder part is to articulate in words, because how many different varieties of fearlessness are there? Or how many different varieties of openness are there? And how to really fine-tune your articulation into something that's understandable by everybody. Yeah, I think it will be an experience that none of us forget. We're so present, so in the moment. reality just like is coming in folds. It's like unfolding. There really isn't much time to reflect, but just to be 100% present and let what wants to come through us. And my like really sincere wish, I'll tell them, but have been thinking like, I hope these flower essences, my wish is that they benefit countless people, and that every time someone benefits, they also benefit, that this becomes a tremendous fountain of good merit and good karma for them both and for Nepal. They probably don't even know how beneficial it will be, which is awesome. Maybe we don't either.
Of the flower.
In morning, I said we'll collect 3 to 4 flowers, and just now we see the new Cymbidium species, and the most prettiest one in Cymbidium category. And these flowers are new for me in the wild. I didn't see it before, and I feel so happy.
Cymbidium Gammieanum dissolves deep sadness and longing for something that cannot be, and the sadness of something not meeting our hopes or expectations. When we feel a deep desire to understand why something won't work, when we feel a river of sadness from our lungs to our hearts to our bellies, this orchid helps us dissolve confusion, self-consciousness, and trying so hard. It brings in a sense of softness, allowing us to take a break. We can acknowledge our sadness and our desire to understand, and let it be. We can let the light come through to illuminate what's next. We can pause, take notice, reevaluate, and choose to celebrate the love that's present in our heart.
It made me feel like I just needed to take a rest, like just stop and enjoy for a moment, rather than like hike, then picture, hike, picture, rush to drink water, then go, keep going. So it was just like, I just am gonna sit and enjoy this and be still for a little bit. For some reason, this one is like so immediately revealing, like it's similar to what you said. It's like that, I'm tired, I have to pee, I have to change clothes, I'm cold, I have needs, I haven't tended to myself. All of a sudden, like all these things that I need to do, and like also like nostalgic, and we were talking about like Nepalis moving to the US and Americans coming to Nepal, and everybody is searching for something that they can't find, or it's like the endless search, and that like the sadness of like looking for the puzzle piece to fit, but it never fits, and you just keep looking for the puzzle piece to fit, and it doesn't fit, and then you get nostalgic about things, and then that just the remedy just being like to sit quietly and see what it is actually that you do need, instead of this constant search, or sadness that you can't find what you're looking for, or sadness that it doesn't click, sadness that it doesn't work, sadness you don't understand, longing to understand something, and just cutting right through the longing into sitting quietly.
We almost reached to the peak. Right now we're at the peak, Panchase Peak. elevation 2517 meter.
We've been going like straight up for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Up the whole way, yeah.
Yes.
For 4 hours. It's awesome.
Recharge, it's recharge. Like you are almost like 10%. Right? We are still like 30, 40
Yeah.
person we have, but we need to like charge. They bring us from his house.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, cool.
Tia roti. First we try.
You know how Mahendra's a little bit like, alright guys, let's get it. There, before dark. Wow, it's so gorgeous here. Holy, so pretty.
Last upward.
Yeah.
Last upward and then it's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
Okay, are you lying?
No. No, I'm not lying.
How was the journey till now?
Amazing, couldn't be better.
Today? So, what was the best part of this trek?
Laughing hysterically.
Yeah.
And also knowing that all those flowers are going to be made into remedies and like thousands and thousands and thousands of people will benefit.
That's the very best part. Yeah, best part, and I love it. So, what is then the worst part of this trek?
Worst part? There's no worst part. Leeches.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get any, so can't really
But
say
we didn't get much leech, right? Okay, so bye bye. See you in the next block.
that. How far do we have left?
About 6 to 7 kilometers.
It's almost 3 hours from here.
For us, it will take 4 hours.
We're going to reach there. I mean, in 7.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, 7.
Other ones are the
Oh, chill back,
really night after 5 p.m. So we have to move fast.
Very getting dark,
Yeah.
and so we go fast.
It's 3 p.m.?
It's only almost 3.
And it gets dark when?
5.
Fantastic now, right?
We have headlamps. I have flashlights.
I think showing this way for future. No, I mean,
Good catch. Were we going to go that way?
yeah, because I saw this, Citre homestay is showing this, the boat.
1.45.
And when I come from here, and the border is there over there.
Yeah, 2 hours. We already crossed 1 hour.
I think today we are gonna like lost in the jungle. it's
No, we reached the homestay.
yeah. It is our day for losing on the jungle.
Good catch, Nyima.
So let it walk fast.
Yeah, today we cover so long distance from there to that plain area to the top, the Panchase Peak, and again we descend down to the Panchase Lake that side, and we walk straight 2 hours continuously. Then we not reach to that destination. We'll reach there within 45 minutes. It will be dark. Need torchlight. Our trip was so fantastic. Adventure.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
You did it.
Finally, yes, we did it. Right?
To the greenery guest house.
Yeah.
After 9 hours hike.
Oh my gosh. This sit. यहाँ बस्नु होला.
Whoa.
Oh, you are you capturing? No. I am I. My.
Your knee.
Your knees.
Wow.
5 मिनट राख तिम्रो छेउमै बस्छ
Sorry. Sorry. कि छैन? छैन? I feel like.
There's one
तातामा त बस्दैन के
somewhere down here. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah. तिम्रो बिहान
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
बाटो साटो कतै के हराउनु त हराएन
Danger period.
This is spicy. Is it spicy?
Yeah, especially yeah. I'll go on my sleepy. No, I'm very fresh.
Now we're awake.
Yeah. Now wake up. Period is it?
That feels good. It does actually wake you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feeling the hurt.
You should try it. No.
You should.
No.
No, I want to be sleepy.
Sleepy Rojo.
We're so lucky. I see on the Google weather forecast, I see that on Tuesday there will be chance of rainfall, and so we made our plan earlier after TR, and after we reach here we see the beautiful view of mountain, no cloud and blue sky only, and the shiny mountain. And the next day also we see the mountain after we complete our all trip trekking collection, and there happen happy rain. and after this we'll move to Pokhara. We feel so lucky.
It was already kind of slippery on the rocks in some places. So it's going to rain all day today, right? Like all day. It would have been crazy. I don't know if we would have been able to do it. Would we have been able to go? I mean, we would have had to, but it would have been crazy. Crazy.
No.
And leeches.
It's very difficult to go.
More leeches come out
More
when it
leeches,
rains,
yeah.
right? Like we had the two most perfect days,
Yeah.
right? It's such a perfect time.
Yeah, yeah.
If we would have arrived now,
So
ooh. How many hours did we walk the first day? Do you
First
remember?
day, 5 to 6 hours. Like
5 to
that.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Yesterday 9. Yeah.
today no.
Today taxi.
Yeah, today taxi. So now we are very totally free and very refreshed. A little bit tiny.
Kindness.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go have breakfast.
Yeah, let's go.
You guys hungry? Hungry, yeah?
Not so angry, but
You hungry? Come on.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. Sunset खाने आएको यार यसरी हो तरिका पहिला गरम भयो त्यो No, it's somewhat like, dulo. Hey, look. Like this. Oh, it's kind of what? Burger or
Burrito.
burrito? Okay. And burgers, pizza. It's Nepali pizza, right?
Nepali burger.
Huh?
Nepali burger.
Black dummy, what? Brown dummy, green dummy, and what is this? Silver. Okay. I'm the original one, right?
Oil.
But be careful.
Yeah. We made it.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm so dumb, yeah? My mind is not working. Yes, I'm super hungry. We eat only chapati at the morning till now. We have only one coffee.
I'm starving.
I'm starving. Yeah, starving. So now we are going to some dumplings, some other things. Hopefully you guys like it.
You'll order everything.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Thank
This
you.
is Nyima Day.
Okay. This is one of the Tibetan refugee camp inside the Pokhara. So yeah, we are like almost inside the camp. So now we are going to having authentic Tibetan dishes.
Nyima the foodie.
Okay.
So after dinner, We're going to take all the flower essences and bring them to the monastery where Nyima lives, and he's going to do a special blessing over all the flower essences to amplify and really bring a powerful lineage of prayer into all those essences.
This one is actually laughing. Yeah, very famous in Kathmandu and Pokhara. And this one is keema noodles, right? Buff keema, all mixed out. Some green vegetable too.
How old were you when you became a monk?
I joined when I was 9. So till now I'm on this field. Till now I want to be forever. But I in future, I want to go to jungle, meditate and like this. I want to spend my whole life because I don't like to be in the city and the name. I don't need a name and the fame also. I always comes in my mind. Strong the mindset, the impermanent. I don't know why. Very very strong. It's my maybe previous good karma. Maybe lead this because most of this time young or old people don't think the impermanent. It's very rare, very rare. If I'm getting old, what problems are coming into my life? Because this time is not like before, right? Earlier times, if you're a senior and the monks, of course, everyone is serve and so it's no problem. This time is very difficult, right? As a monk, single person, if we're getting old and what's problems comes in. So sometimes that's playing on my mind.
You're saying when you get old, like 70s, 80s?
Yeah. I cannot
And
do
then
anything.
sick and dying.
No, not for dying. Just for old. Yeah.
Like if you need help or someone to take care of you, or what do you
Yeah,
mean?
kind of
Yeah.
bad things. How I can do it?
We can take care of you.
Yeah, we'll take care of you.
You also are getting old, and it's no problem. No problem. But because when we born, already all the four sufferings already comes. Born, and sickness and old age and die. This already comes in with us. We have to accept it, right? Because this time is very people are very are they busy or selfish. I don't know. If I get a family, even not sure that kids are, are going to take care of my man. If it's not guarantee. Only sometime this kind of things. When I'm very sick, of course some of my friends they help me, but sometimes it's lonely, kind of this.
If you ever get sick or hurt or anything, just let us know.
How?
I don't know, yeah.
Now we're a family.
Yeah, of course.
I said after this trip, we're going to be like family, right? Yeah. Not always, but oftentimes the more you get to know someone, the more disappointed you become in their character. And in Nepal, it's the opposite. The more you get to know someone, the more you fall in love with them, the more you care about them, the more you are devoted to them.
But in Nepal, people behave like they already know and become so friendly in short time. I love. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, they did. Yes.
Now let's go.
No, let's go.
So we're back at Nyima's monastery here in Pokhara. He disappeared. He ran off. I mean, the only thing, we just had the most lovely conversation at dinner about, what life is like as a monk and how he worries about what's going to happen when he gets older. And it's funny, how in such a short time you can say to someone, I will take care of you when you're older. It's just funny how close you can get in such a short time. It's a bizarre thing. we first thought about it in terms of like people's hearts are open, but I loved how Mahendra explained it as people act like they already know you. It just gets better and better though. Can you explain what kind of blessing you're going to do?
It's we call Tisol. We call all the deities and Bodhisattva we do for this puja, especially for purify. Gammieanum Thamjeza Lada Milande Baja Kuso Tudan Gawan Sangi Chabadam Bade Damje Jajan Dagira Rangi Ningani Chibi Zegi Jabada Lama Namje on the Jigula Jabajam Dende Zenzon de Bergen Dungaze Dusum Neze Sangi Mingil Benduria Lanjanze Lo Deno Mega de Bega de Mame as a samanga de so de dom bega de ma bega de samanga de so de dom bega de ma bega de samanga de so de dom bega de ma bega de raja samanga de so ha de ya tha om jai jai ma jai jai wa hine jai jai tare kala kala mala mala zala zala jene jene sarvagama awar ne me so de Adishidi Soha Namo Bhagavate Sasa Vade Sarvabhada Avaloki Desa Shiragana Jekaya Manavi Dani Soha Pura Pura Sura Sura Pura Pura Da Pura Da Sarvabhada Adishidi Soha Dharmada Dangave Soha Bhavada Sarva Dhamma Avabhadani Soha Gyavadi Nyudu Sangi Mela Dugyi Nindawa Jigaman Deyi Sala Gyavashu Killa Dijin Soha Davide Tasa Gonda Neve Sacha Neve Vonta Deshivat Chedanda Jembavara Jendo so Simjin Neba Jineba Nudon Nele Tagini Doyen Namale Tadu Jungwa Member Show Sangi Kuzum Nebe Jalada Jenny Miguel de Bejalada Gede Miche Divi Jalak Jedango Malamdo Bore Show. Betepachi Chutinu Barsa, Janmepachi Moran Barsa, right? So when we born and we have to die. And when we meet and we have to separate again. That's the life. So I'm very happy to meet you, my two sisters and Mahendra brother. And so now I have to say goodbye. Okay. Okay, sister. Have a safe journey. सुबह यात्रा है रामसँग चाहिँ भेटेर एकदम खुसी लाग्यो है एकदम खुसी लाग्यो अनि अब यस्तो टेम्परेमा सम्झिनु यता आए पनि सम्झिनु है म नि आए पनि भन्छु अब सधैँ यता बिचरा तिमी आफ्नो काम हुन्छ म नि आफ्नो काम हुन्छ टेम्परेमा यस्तो सम्झिनु है ल Thank you, bye bye, and see you and my two sister, brother. Okay? Smile. Peace.
We spent 6 weeks in Nepal, a country where we didn't speak the language yet felt completely at home. The love and affection of Nepali people came to us in the form of a song, a smile, a meal, and chai, laughter, and presence. We experienced a wide-open pure love and an awareness of oneness and inseparability that reconnected us with a deep and forgotten part of ourselves.
Nepal has me, you know? I'm just like so in love. I just love it here so much.
We came here to hunt for rare orchids and capture the healing essence of Nepal, and we were met with a treasure trove of sky orchids. Known as Sunakari in the Nepali language, these orchids mirror the pure energy of Nepal. When you want to open your heart, Feel spaciously independent, explore fearlessly, and experience freedom. When you want to see life through new eyes and let laughter heal every wound. When after a profound transformation, you're ready to gracefully re-enter the world with a more luxurious expression and a loving acceptance of all that is. This heart offering is an encapsulation of the pure essence of Nepal, as luminous as the moon and the stars. Take the leap, become the sky.